Rockstar Ado. Lots of you are suggesting that it's not possible for me to get to this one fast enough. I'm excited to see what she does with her voice here. There was a little preview of a live version of something like this, resembling this, I think, a little while ago. I got really excited. I'm not really sure if this includes some live aspects or is just a studio thing, but let's get to it. Okay, so that's the hook that was in that video where the lights went out, like the power went out, and then everybody chimed in and started helping out. That was a sweet video. Yeah. I love the sound of that dry, throaty guitar right here, and then the vocals surrounding it, right? It's like the choir of Ados is surrounding the Rockstar, maybe. But then I like the visual aspects that the mix is already creating. Yeah, and then right here, the guitar is in the center, just like it is in the music. Of course, now those are great sounding guitars. I want to talk more about that, but let's hear some singing first. So, band limited, that's a cool sound. Of course, that's not how they're doing it. They're using a digital EQ, but they've also added a little bit of distortion to her voice. And then, of course, she's already adding distortion to her performance. Oh, no. Oh! She heats it up by using a particular type of distortion. That's low for her star. Notice how she played with the placement on that note. Rockstar. It's almost that exaggerated, right? She's so good at doing this, and it's so much a part of her characterization of all the lines that she sings. Rockstar. This is what rock stars do. They mess with their placement. They put distortions in incidentally, and she's already doing it in the, first 20 seconds of singing. His head voice there. Oh, sorry, just listen to this. Yeah. So she heats up her voice in such natural ways, but she's using very specific techniques. Yeah! Clean. She's using a distortion called compression here, and I've talked about this in other Ado videos, but if we just get that clean first and belt it, yeah! And slide up like she's doing, it doesn't capture the attitude that she's going for. So she's actually holding back energy, holding back air with an area above her voice box. Yeah! I am simultaneously pushing more with my support system and acting sort of like I'm using the same mechanisms in my throat as if I were to be lifting something heavy, like this desk, like that. The trick is being able to coordinate that with a particular pitch. Yeah! So it's important that we understand how to get to that pitch cleanly first and then lay the distortion on top. This distortion should feel very high in your throat. Yeah! It's that same thing. I've just figured out how to do it higher. This is right in the middle of her range. Yeah! The call and answer on that clean single coil guitar, that's mint. Really nice contrast. Because she's heating up her voice, and then the guitar is a clean sort of refreshment in that call and answer there. Now that's a different kind of distortion. So we had Bay, where she's heating it up with the area above her voice box. There's some retinoid engagement, some false chord engagement with this type of sound. And then this one here is the epiglottis engagement.
You hear like Louis Armstrong use that kind of sound.
And this has to be used sparingly, but and not with too much breath pressure. It doesn't require as much breath pressure to get going either.
So to do that,
I like to start
low,
and then sort of bottom out my range.
Imitate Cookie Monster, but just be careful.
So this feels lower in the throat than this type of distortion. And it's easier to sort of get in the way of your voice box, your true vocal folds, causing discomfort with this style. But notice, she leans into it and then she gets out of it. This is the way that this distortion is used best. And she's doing it perfectly with perfect technique right here. Distortion type 1.
愛とも言える方向になる Don't care 私は ROCKSTAR 遊び足りない夢を見てたいの Hey you 一人じゃないのさ眠れないのならさあ
Okay, there's lots to go over there in terms of coolness. Let's go back. So she's entering in from her head voice, and she's really engaging that distorted, the first type we were talking about, that distorted sound, but it comes in clean. So there's this desperation. It's almost like she's sighing into these notes. But it's not, it's tight once she sighs into it. In other words, it's not super focused. And then she goes, ROCKSTAR! She's flirting with her head voice, her clean head voice, so much as she enters and sort of grounds in this heavier, weighty, distorted sound. She's doing it with such coordination. And then there's another thing here that she's borrowing from a line she did earlier that I talked about, lower, in terms of placement. Remember, she went, ROCKSTAR, exaggerating it. She's doing it here too. She's messing with her placement and slanting these vowels in a certain way. It's really interesting. Again, I'm really exaggerating. I'm playing with it more than she is to sort of draw attention to what she's doing. That's actually longer there. It's the inverse of what she did before. Listen to rock versus store, ROCKSTAR. And whatever right here, tonight would be so yeah, ROCKSTAR. And then combining it with the size. And you can even hear in my voice as I pull the inspiration from her and play with my voice like I hear her playing with her voice, my voice comes alive in new ways. If you'd like help doing this with your voice, I have a free course you can join in the pinned comment or video description. Click that link, and I'll help you do with your voice what I'm doing with my voice. Pulling these crazinesses that Ado is doing with her voice and making them your own.
とも言える方向になる今夜私はロックスター遊び足りない夢を見てたいの Hey you 一人じゃ
Hey you!
ないのさ眠れない
And she cleans it up, and she's not going up there because she has to. This is another flavor that she's exploiting and dancing with.
Hey you 一人じゃないのさ眠れないのなら
I love that slide.
ないのさ眠れないのなら
Woo! Ugh, and did you hear how she chirped down too? Every single one of those notes. Come on, let's sing a song. It's so broken, yet so tight at the same time. So it's not just, come on, let's sing a song. No, that would be boring, even though it's got the heat. It's, come on, let's sing a song. There's a desperation and an engagement there that is just awesome. Also, ingenious how she's phrasing and attacking some of these notes here. Whoa! Oh! Hard onset there. Whoa! Oh! It's really important to pay attention to how you enter and exit notes as a vocalist, especially if you want to have lots of character. And she just does a wonderful job of creating variety, even in the simplicity of a line. She's not approaching every note the same. And real quick, just instrumentation-wise, we've got these wah sounds, we've got clean sounds, we've got all sorts of layers in the guitar. There's so much going on there, but it creates this fresh, almost guitar salad. I don't hear a lot of rock songs these days with this kind of depth in the guitar arranging. Honestly, the last album that really got to me, like this song is doing with guitar, is Pearl Jam's Versus album. Because they had so many different lines and performances and textures with the guitars. This is great. That sharp 9 chord. Right. Well, sharp 9 there too. There's that nice, like, first type of distortion again. Yeah. So there was a different characteristic that came out in her voice here in the past few seconds. I want to talk about it because it's new in this song. She's taking on more of a soul singer and less of a rock star approach, which is really interesting, just right in the middle of it. There's your rock star singing, and then listen to that. Listen to how she entered here. Right here. She's gone from like yeah to there's a backing off. It's a more somber. She's sliding up to this note, and it's a darker, less weighty sound, bluesier, less rock.
すべきものは見えてるから
Kala. She's got this nice looser vibrato here as well.
条件は
Sometimes so bluesy. She's nodded to this style earlier, but in her cleanliness and in the register that she's singing, she creates this smoky female blues artist persona here, which is interesting because as I'm picking just little bits of the lyrics in this verse, the words are sort of her departing from this idealized rock star theme. It's getting a little noisy and annoying. They just won't quit, will they? But I already see what's worth loving. I don't need their advice. It's enough with just you and me. And I believe her vocal quality here, it is a bit more of an intimate sound. This just points to how wonderfully she articulates emotion and lyrical direction with her tonalities in her voice. We contrast what's being said in verse 3 with verse 1. Felt rushed, I had to change something. Dreaming as they laughed at me. The light from the stage looked like wings. The you I dreamed of was a rock and roll star. Like, it's out there. Like, that's how the first verse sounded. Here we go. The guitars have gotten more distorted, less layered at this point. Totally 90s Pearl Jam sort of arranging. Totally. Love it! Multiple key changes! Let's talk about what she's doing in their voice here in this breakdown. Notice as she sings through this, how she really leans into the vocal weight of her chest voice, clean, and then abandons up into her head voice in this sort of angelic contrast. Breathiness too! There's that wonderful sort of first type of distortion I was talking about. And I also like here how she's not only going from chest to head, but there's a breathiness up here and a length to her chest voice. There's this shape that she's painting with her voice as she interacts with these lines. Bright, wide, smiley, lengthy, not breathy, closure. That was an awesome line. She plays with it in like 5 different ways in that one thing. I like how she slid up there from her chest to her head. And she's breathing right before she nails you with that distortion in the same range, right? This is so difficult to do. And as a vocal coach, it's fascinating to hear so many things done in such a short amount of time and have it make musical and inspired sense, right? It doesn't sound overkill. It sounds like it fits because of the way she ties it in with the music and the lyrics. Incredible. love when there's like certain English words that come in every once in a while. It just helps me lean into it even more. Hey, you! Now there was a really good example of her changing her placement far back into this sort of nasal, almost witchy sound. This is another one of those things that when you isolate it and you just listen to that one little part and then maybe you experiment it with yourself, you're like, oh, that sounds so bad and horrible. But put in the right context and moved in and out of dynamically, it's needed. It's part of the charm of the line. She's not just singing everything with this forward placement. There are certain parts where she goes super nasal and brings it back and almost pushes the sound and resonance out of the back of her head, or like it's coming out of her ears instead of out of her mouth. This is how it feels to me when I internalize some of the stuff that she's doing. Like when I go that bright, it does. It feels like it's like a instead of boom. No, it's definitely coming out of my mouth. No. Ooh, and there was one of the it was one of the epiglottal engagements. Ah. Oh, I gotta hear that ending again. She cleaned up and soared there in her head voice. So super like, you know, put a stake through your forehead belt. So, that's such a powerful, weighty sound. And then she maintains that placement of real forward right between your eyes, but goes up into a clean head voice and sort of sends it to you through her eyes. Oh, what a great sound. And what a nice contrast in dynamics, even though she's keeping that placement the same. Ugh. So good. So good. I was definitely ready for some more quirky, aggressive, unhinged sounding Ado. We got it. What's so cool about this song in particular is that there's a tightness to her vocal performance here that I think is unique to this song. I mean, don't get me wrong. Show and some of these other ones where she's just bouncing all over the place, her Crime and Punishment version. Incredible stuff. I think maybe part of it's the instrumental arranging here that just really hits home to me as someone whose genre of upbringing was 90s rock. I hear a modernization of the 90s sound in this sound, and the way that she took her voice and put it in that, I think helps me connect with this song and with her voice and artistry on a whole other level. And I already enjoyed what she was doing. Thanks so much for listening. Be sure to be caught up on all the Ado videos that I've done on this channel in this playlist. And again, if you would like help working with your own voice, pulling from the inspirations you hear in singers like Ado, click that link below in the pinned comment or video description and join my free course. We'll see you for more.